Okay, thanks very much, Jordan, and hi to everybody. I'm going to give you a very quick overview of what it is about the EON XR platform that might work in terms of education. So a little bit of background. I've been a faculty member for nearly 35 years. And so my main interest here is in the learning and teaching aspects of the platform and how it might look for learners. The first thing I'd like to say is that this is not just about XR, and both my colleagues Farid and John have really pointed this out. It's XR plus the platform design that really counts. That's where the pedagogical value is. It's the combination of those two things. There's a pedagogical imperative in the world at the moment, I think, particularly perhaps at higher education, but in education generally. And that is that education in the past has not been very good at bridging the gap between theory and practice. It's often said by employers, for example, that students graduate from university knowing a lot of stuff, knowing a lot of theory, having a lot of knowledge, but they don't actually know what to do with it. And that's really a problem of the way that they're taught, so that they're not bridging that gap. Students themselves see this as well. In fact, a number of different institutions have said the same kind of thing to us. Los Angeles City College, who you heard from before, in our very first meeting with them, said that they wanted to be able to bridge the gap between lecture-based knowledge and applied skills. And from the sound of the video you heard before, that's something that's certainly happening. And that you need to be able to convert theory-based knowledge into practical skills with lifelike experiences. Those lifelike experiences, of course, are really XR. So one of the things that I'd like to say is that it's not just XR by itself, in the sense that we don't learn a lot as human beings just from episodic experience. That's why we have formal education. If we did learn from real life in the way that we want to learn, then we wouldn't need formal education. What we actually need is to be able to analyze, explore, and reflect on those experiences. So I'd like to just briefly show you what I mean here in this example. You can see here where this tank is being is in AR mode. It's outside. You can get the full sensory motor experience of it, the psychological experience of presence. But you don't learn just from that. You learn from a combination of that, plus the platform's ability to allow you to analyze the experience as well. So it's the combination of the analysis as well as the real life experience that really counts here. The other thing that's really important in the platform, and John showed you this before, is that you can create activities in the platform, and you can sequence those activities so that you can deepen the students' learning by making connections. In this example of an eye, you can see that there are 13 different activities here. And if you go into this lesson, you will find that those activities are all very nicely connected with each other to deepen the students' learning. And I think that's another really important capability of the platform. The final thing I'd like to say is about the multi-user meetings. We all know as teachers that collaborative learning is a very difficult thing to organize. It's often messy. Students often complain about it. It sometimes doesn't work. But at the same time, we also know that collaborative learning is actually a very valuable thing. So what you need is some kind of organizing principle. And this is where I think the platform comes into its own. Not only can you have students in all kinds of remote locations collaborating together, but the virtual space actually provides a focus for everybody's attention. And that then becomes a really good way of organizing collaborative learning. In addition to that, learners are provided with content-specific visualization tools. And this study suggests that, in fact, that's one of the things that improves collaborative learning. So I'd say that the functionality, the collaborative learning, and the ability to both experience and to analyze are some of the key features of the platform in terms of student learning. And with that, thank you.